This is what I carry with me everywhere that I go. Seems like a lot of stuff. I was gonna make like an everyday carry video that was like what I carry in my pockets, but honestly, I have my book bag with me everywhere that I go, and this is what I carry with me. So I wanted to give you the full rundown. First off, I want to run through the things that I keep directly on me all the time, not including my backpack, because that's truly what I'm carrying outside of my backpack. Most of it is pretty obvious. All of us kind of have it. Here's my rundown. First things first is the phone. My current phone of choice as of August 2021 is the iPhone 12 Pro. I went with the iPhone 12 mini for a little. It was too small. The 12 Max is too big. This 12 Pro, perfect. I love it. Does exactly what I need. Currently, I'm also carrying around the Pixel 5a. More for testing purposes, but I do like to have a secondary phone that is more like for business type of stuff, but I don't even have it yet set up for that, so it's more just that I'm testing it because I like testing different phones, and this one's pretty sweet so far. Right now, that's in my pocket, but it's not always in my pocket. Another super important thing that I carry with me absolutely everywhere, and I suggest you do too, is a pocket knife. This is not like one of those crazy $500 ones. This is, I think, like maybe 40 bucks or 50 bucks. It's a Kershaw Speed Safe, but highly, highly recommend you have a knife. It's so useful. I never realized until I had one how lost I feel when I don't. The amount of times I use this on a everyday basis, whether it's opening a box or slicing something or cutting something, whatever it is, it's so useful. You should absolutely have it. This one is one variety that I have, and then I have another one that's a little bit smaller than this. I always have a pocket knife with me. You should too. Keys, while I hate them, yes, I do have keys now again. I drive a Ford F-150, so that's my Ford key, and all I carry on it are my 2 office keys, and I don't even carry a key to my actual house because I just get in through the garage. I try to keep this super minimal on this little guy right here. Most of the times I don't even carry this on me. I just leave it in the truck and lock the truck because it's just easier that way. And my wallet. I'm not super picky into wallets as well. This is just a super small, it's like American Eagle actually. I've had this for like 6 years or 7 years. Super small, minimal. I have like 6 cards in there. I don't carry any cash. Nothing crazy. I'm not super picky when it comes to wallets. But I am super picky when it comes to audio, which you'll soon find out. AirPods Pro, they are with me everywhere that I go. I absolutely love AirPods. They're just the best thing ever created. I carry them with me all the time. I prefer the AirPods Pro because I like the noise cancellation, the transparency mode, and they stay in my ears much better. I've been obsessed with these ever since I got them. They're great. So that's basically what I keep on me all the time. A wallet, AirPods, a knife, keys, 2 phones, sometimes 1, which leaves me with the rest of this that I all keep in my backpack. And this is where I have a lot of stuff. This is not just randomly just tossed in my backpack. It's organized and it has a purpose. Here's the purpose. This is also very important, and you should drink more water if you don't already, but I carry this Yeti. I think it's like 36 ounces or 40 ounces or I don't know, but I carry it with me all the time. This I don't carry in my pocket or really even in my backpack. I kind of tend to carry it just like in my hand, and I love it. I try to drink as much water as possible. This thing's great. I also have another Yeti that's just for coffee, but that one's not always with me. This one, it is. First off, and most importantly, is my main carry-around camera. Currently, it's the A7S III with a 20mm 1.8 lens on it, and I carry the Rode VideoMic NTG on the top with a little custom cable here from my friends over at Sorry Cables. It's a friend of mine. They're awesome. If you need cables, you should shop there. That's my main carry-around rig, and I usually carry it here on a SwitchPod. I still like the SwitchPod more than any other portable tripod simply because it's really quick to just utilize and talk to the camera. A7S III, 20mm 1.8, Rode VideoMic NTG, SwitchPod. When I don't want to use my big A7S III, I also carry with me the Sony ZV-1 for just like portable handheld little stuff, little vlog stuff if I don't have the big camera with me and I just want some additional little footage if I'm walking around or doing something. I carry this. If this is still too big, well, then I carry around the GoPro Hero 9 Black. I literally never actually use this except for if I'm like doing something underwater. It's so small, and it's kind of the camera that I would use if I wanted to do some risky type of shot and I didn't want anything else to break, including my phone. Most times it's A7S III or ZV-1, then my phone, last case scenario, probably the GoPro. I also carry with me a set of Rode Wireless Go 2s, and really I use these for a couple of purposes. The main one is a lav, if I ever want to use a lav for any of my own videos and I don't want to just use the onboard microphone or the video mic NTG. I'll use these for a lav, or every once in a while I'll use them for, like, if I'm doing random client work somewhere and I suddenly need some other type of setup for something and I don't have everything with me. These are just kind of really good little Swiss Army knives. I did a review of these before, but just really good little mics to bring with you. I might also use it if I was like doing some sort of random interview with someone and I wanted to make sure I could get some audio from them as well. I might throw this by them, but great little unit for just the cost and what it does. I don't use them a ton, but it's nice having them with me. I keep these guys in this little Pelican 1010 case, and then that way I can just toss it straight into the backpack and not worry about getting anything messed up. Yeah. My everyday computer is the MacBook Pro M1, 16 gigs of RAM with a 1 terabyte hard drive. Honestly, I'm not even a huge fan of this computer half the time because I've had a lot of M1 issues, but that's another whole video for another whole day. I tend to use my iPad for almost everything else, and if I could use no computer at all and just my iPad, I'd actually be a super happy camper. But as of now, I still need to have this for editing, but all I really use it for is Final Cut Pro. What I'd prefer to use rather than the laptop is my M1 iPad Pro. This is the newest model. I just got this one not too long ago. Huge fan of it so far. This is the 512 gig version and it's cellular. So I use this literally for everything other than video editing. I just find it so much faster to take this out. The cellular is always connected. This plays a huge role in my productivity side of things when it comes to email, invoicing, talking with my employees, talking with clients, FaceTiming, Zoom meetings, anything that I do other than video editing, I try to do on this. I just find it so much easier to use. It's easier to charge. The battery lasts really long. It's just a really good productivity tool. I have this little guy here. I talked about this in my recent video of this. This is a little sling thing for the Apple Pencil. Even though it charges and magnetizes here, I find it super annoying when you're kind of getting it in and out of your backpack. So I put this like this. And bam, iPad with me all the time. My preferred method of technology these days. All of those things from time to time have to be charged, obviously, and so what I tend to do is go with a very strong like power bank setup. This has 2 USB-C and 2 USB-A, so this will charge everything. So it'll charge my M1 MacBook Pro, it'll charge the iPad Pro many times, it'll charge my phones, it'll charge AirPods, it'll charge anything, and this does it a lot of times. This is 27,000 milliamps, and this is kind of a backup. This just simply has USB-C on one side, USB-A on the other side. This will kind of be the one that if I'm literally like getting somewhere and I'm dropping my backpack off, let's say a hotel, and I'm going to go downtown or something, I'm just using that as an example because I do that sometimes, I'll kind of carry this with me in my pocket just if I suddenly know I need power, because this is obviously a lot bigger. I have these with me all the time. So convenient, especially when I'm traveling on planes. I can use this to power my computer or the iPad. Is awesome. And then I carry this little Zendure. This charges these, but it also can charge my other devices. So this has 2 USB-C, 2 USB-A, but this has 100 watt power. So this is actually more powerful than any of the actual chargers that you get with like any MacBook Pro. So like the biggest one they have is an 85 watt charger for the big 16-inch MacBook Pro. This is 100 watts. What's awesome about that is it can charge these power banks incredibly fast. It'll actually charge this whole 27,000 milliamp power bank in like under an hour, which is awesome because you can recharge it. It'll also charge the computers and the iPads and the phones way faster than anything else. And then this just plugs into the wall. So if I get to a place like a hotel or something, I'll plug this in. Everything else will be able to plug right into this, or I can charge these devices with it. That's really nice to have. I don't even keep the Apple charger with me, the white one for computers. I just use this for everything. Then I have an extra little lens with me. This is just a super cheap 50 1.8 Sony. So in the times that I suddenly need a different lens with me for whatever reason, I want something a little bit tighter for just like my everyday vlog stuff or YouTube stuff, I'll use this. Obviously, I always have my other lenses with me if I'm doing any commercial work, so this really isn't a backup for anything other than just me. If I suddenly want another little cheap lens, I just keep this in my backpack, and that way I'm not super concerned about having to bring one of our expensive lenses with me. Works great, nothing super crazy about it. It's very plasticky. Produces a pretty good image though. I've been happy with it. And the most important thing in my backpack is all about sound. I love audio. So much so that I carry 5 pairs of headphones with me everywhere I go, with very unique purposes. So I talked about the AirPods Pro. I probably use these the most when it comes to everyday phone call conversation, everyday music listening, and just the kind of quick need to pull them out of my pocket. They're always right on me. Nothing else obviously stays in my pocket. So most times if I'm just suddenly gonna have a phone call, a Zoom, a FaceTime, I'll probably just grab these as the defaults. When I want to get better audio and most importantly, much better noise isolation, I grab the AirPods Max. I really like these much better for long-term use, and when I am actually editing on my iPad or my computer, I definitely like these. They're super low latency. They're really comfortable. The noise cancellation is amazing, so it definitely allows me to like shut out the rest of the world entirely. Huge fan of these when it comes to wireless, and I feel like they're very accurate for everyday listening and everyday mixing, even with my actual audio stuff when it comes to Final Cut Pro. So big fan of these. They're expensive, but I really do like them a lot. I feel like they sound phenomenal. When I want even better sound, but also a different type of sound, I have custom in-ear monitors. These are 6-driver in-ear monitors from a company called 64 Audio. So I've had these for a while. These are obviously my main in-ear monitors that I use when I'm performing on stage, whether it be like in my own music or stuff at the church. These are what I use for in-ear monitoring. I will also use these when I am editing in Final Cut Pro or something and I want like a really good isolation, obviously even more noise cancellation realistically than the Maxes because the seal itself. But really I use these more when I just want 0 latency mixing and I'm mixing for an extended period of time. Inside this case, I keep the adapters for the USB-C to headphone port as well as Lightning to headphone port. So when I want to use these, I know that I have to have a headphone port adapter, so I keep them both in there so that I always have that adapter where they would be needed. So if I'm doing something that is very audio sensitive and I want to make sure that I don't have any sort of latency issues whatsoever, no battery life to worry about, I will throw these on. But really these are in there just more for the times that I either play or sing at my church or I do stuff on my own. These are always in my pocket for that, but probably the least used in my bag in terms of regular basis other than music. Then I also have another set of headphones in here. These are the Shure SE215s. They're the wireless versions that have like the little tail on the back like this. And really, I bought these for one sole purpose, and that is working out and or doing some of the pressure washing stuff. If you don't know, I also have a pressure washing company, but I really wanted a set that wasn't gonna ruin my AirPods with water or with like working out. And I don't usually use my AirPods Pro when I am like running around or working out or even riding my bike, because though they do stay in my ears pretty well, they don't stay in unbelievably. I've been riding my mountain bike down like a trail before and my AirPods flew out and I had to stop and find them first and then get them. These cannot come out of my ears because not only do they stay in my ears really well, but they also wrap around your ears so they're going nowhere. They also have a transparency mode on them, so it's nice. They're not like the most accurate headphones in the world, but they do a good job. A little carrying case that also charges it like the AirPods. So really those are strictly used for just pressure washing and for miscellaneous fitness things. And in the absolute last resorts, when somehow my AirPods don't work, my AirPods Max don't work, my in-ear monitors don't work, and my Shures don't work, you always have the trusty, old school, wired Apple headphones. Literally, I never ever use these. These are actually the headphone versions, so I would actually have to be super desperate because I'd have to actually get the adapter out. Really, the only time I'd probably use these is if someone else was with me and I was like, here, you want to use these headphones? But that's what I carry. That doesn't even go into at all the stuff that's actually in my backpack, like every single cable that I carry, tons of USB-C cables, micro USB cables, lightning cables, basically cables for everything, extra batteries for my Sony, which most of the time I don't even use those because I charge the cameras as well with the power banks. It's a lot of stuff that I didn't realize was all in my backpack. But everything has a purpose and I know exactly where it is anytime I need it. That's the important part. None of this is thrown in my backpack. If you ask me where any of these things are, I can put them right back where they belong. So I try to stay organized. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video and like more tech videos, subscribe and come back and say hi again soon. Thanks for watching. See ya.